So I just watched a video by one of my favorite creators where she was asked a question, why would I have to knock or ask permission to go into your home if my children live there? And this seems like common sense. Like if you don't have a key or your name isn't on the paperwork for the house, why would you think you have any right just because your child lives there? When you go into the school, don't you have to sign in to go into the school where your child is? I mean, it just kind of makes sense. And one of the comments was, think to yourself, if you could be charged with trespassing or breaking and entering, is it probably wise to do? Here's why, in my situation, BioMom isn't even invited to my house. When they first got the divorce decree and everything was figured out, we agreed to meet halfway. I personally, myself, have a huge sense and vibe with juju and good energy and bad energy. I told my boyfriend slash soon to be husband, I just don't feel comfortable with her coming to our house. At that point, things were really hostile. I don't want to say really hostile. She just didn't care for me. She didn't like how I pushed my husband to stand up to her, how I stood up to her, how I wasn't going to be walked all over, because she tried to treat me like I worked for her just because I was bonus mom. But, anyways, so for the first 6 months that we lived here, she tried everything she could. I'll bring bio daughter by. No, you're good. We don't have to. I'm gonna stop by and pick this up. No, we'll meet you halfway. Can She would do FaceTimes with the daughter. Let me see the house. And I would walk over, take the phone, and say, hey, she's in the kitchen eating a snack. She's gonna stay in here. It got to the point where we went to drop off and we sat down with Bio Mom and asked her, what is your incessant need to see our house? What do you think is in there? It's a normally decorated house. My house looks a little neglected right now because I have a toddler and because we're getting ready to move. So it's not fully decorated. I said, do you think there's something dangerous? And I asked her, if you think there's something dangerous or harmful to her, let us know. We will put your mind at ease. But honestly, 99.99% of the things that he had in his old house are gone that they shared in their marriage. I didn't want in my new house. The few things that are here, I straight up put on the back porch of his old house and I saged the hell out of it. Sprinkled some holy water, some Florida Georgia water on it. Florida Georgia water. But it's just your space. You don't have a right to walk into somebody's house. Now, if she popped up at my doorstep and knocked on the door and said, I want to see my daughter, I would bring the daughter out, but I would remind her afterwards, like, hey, you didn't call, this is my space.